So how do you get under these curly nails that are growing into your dog's pad? This video is going to show you how to get underneath tricky curly nails and those curly, floppy rear dew claws using a nail grinder. These are the type of nails that curl so tightly up against a dog's pad that trying to clip them means you might also clip their paw pad skin. You'll often see these nails on pugs, Frenchies, Dachshunds, Chihuahuas, Pit Bulls, and most rear dew claws. Sometimes, even after you trim the nails with a Dremel, they're still going to be too long, so it's important to keep on top of these and Dremel them often. So the winner of tools here is absolutely a nail grinder. I use the Dremel brand grinder and a Diamagroove diamond bit. I can't recommend this bit enough if these are the type of nails your dog has, as it's the only one that I found that gets under them easily and safely. This bit fits on most major rotary tools, and you'll need both the bit and to practice this technique to make sure you don't injure your dog's paw pads while you're trying to get underneath the nail. The key part of the Diamagroove is this tiny edge here that has smooth metal and no grit. This is the part we can slide underneath the edge of the nail and get to the part of the nail that most needs to be trimmed, which is the part that's right up against the skin. Other diamond bits have grit that extends all the way to the edge, which means they'll grind some of your dog's skin, which of course doesn't feel good. Trimming nails that are curled under and close to the skin is something that already hurts, but having this bit will make it much easier for you and your dog. The technique and the way you hold the Dremel is the same that I teach in my How to Dremel Your Dog's Nails video series, which I've linked below. Make sure your dog's comfortable and have a friend nearby to help pet them and give them treats. First I'm going to show doing the regular nails, and then I'm going to get to those curly rear dew claws. You can see here that I'm using that same motion that I explained in my How to Dremel videos, and I'm not making these nails here perfect because I want to save the dog's bandwidth for these curly ones. So first I'm going to go at it from the side, then underneath, and then I'm going to wrap around the nail. I do each one a little bit differently based on how curled under they are. So for this one that's heavily curled under tightly, I'm first going to get the top of the nail because it's what I can reach, roll over it, get a little bit on the sides, and then I'm going to tilt my Dremel to start getting underneath that little hook. That's where you can see that the metal part that doesn't have the grit on it is what's going to be touching the dog's pad and not scuff them the way the grit would. Sometimes I have to hold it at kind of weird angles, but whatever you have to do to get underneath it with the very tip of the bit. Now we're doing a quick break for some pets and moving on to the back nails of the other foot. Once again, I'm doing those ones pretty quickly so that I can save the dog's patience for these back ones. There's not a lot of detail in this view, but you can see my technique and how I'm using my thumbs to brace the nail in the Dremel. Just like I've explained before, I'm pushing the nail into the Dremel with equal pressure. For this one, I'm doing the main part of the end of the nail and then getting underneath it, as you can see me wrap around here. This dog's doing a little bit of kicking because he's getting belly rubs, and that's how we keep him distracted, but he's also not loving what I'm doing. As he kicks, I just wait till I get another break from kicking, and then I grab the nail again. I'm going bit by bit and watching for the quick and just going around and around until I get to it. Here's some pictures of what the quick looks like when you get close. This next one is much more difficult as it's curled in tightly and it's longer. It's similar to the one on the other side, where instead of starting in the middle of the nail, I'm getting a lot off the top so that then I can access the part underneath. I'm getting the side of the nail, then a little bit underneath, and there's a little bit flaking off that I'm just going to pull apart with my fingers. Got some more kickies here. I'm going to grab the nail again whenever he's ready, and then slowly start wearing away at it again. Some people opt to have these rear dew claws removed, which can be a good option if your dog really doesn't like this. So that's something just to keep in mind if you'd like to talk to your vet. I gave him a little bit of a break. Now we're going back to it, and I'm using my fingers to pull apart a little bit more of the flakes that are coming out from underneath that super curled part. Some of them are so curly that it's even hard to get my Dremel under there, but I can get under there a little bit with my fingernails. From here, since that's as much as I can do with my Dremel, I'm going to get my little hand file that I make with a paint stick and leftover tread from my scratch board, and I'm going to try to get in between that nail and the pad. I'm pulling the nail to the side a little bit as I pull it away from the pad, and then trying to slide that file in between. It definitely takes some finagling, especially if the dog's moving, but as long as your dog's still doing okay emotionally, just take your time, give them breaks, and keep going back to it. That file was a little too big, so now I'm moving to a human metal file. I think this hand file probably especially feels weird to the dog, but if at all possible, really try to get fully underneath it because that's the part that's going to grow right into the pad. I'm just going to keep going here, little by little, This hand file is definitely not as efficient as a Dremel, but I got off enough nail to where now he'll be comfortable. So that's how you get under overgrown, curly nails, and rear dew claws. If you have any questions, let me know below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.